live. Hi, everybody. We're live.
Oh, okay. Ready? All right. Fantastic. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Site Plan Review and Appearance Board for Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. Rochelle, when you're ready, if you can please call roll.
Sure. Linda Perdot is absent. Stephen Cohen is absent. Annette Gray.
Here.
Keith Beal.
Here.
Jose Alvarez.
Here.
Adam Nelson.
Here.
Dana Adler.
Here. Thank you. Next item is the approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
No.
Okay. Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Michelle, if you can please call roll.
Linda Perdot is absent. Stephen Cohen is absent. Annette Gray.
Yes.
Keith Beal.
Yes.
Jose Alvarez.
Yes.
Adam Nelson.
Yes.
Dana Adler.
Yes. Next item is the meeting minutes from January 24th, 2024. I've reviewed them. They appear accurate. Does anyone have any changes to the meeting minutes?
Nope, nothing here.
Okay, seeing and hearing none. Can someone make a motion to approve the minutes?
Move approval of the January 24th, 2024 minutes.
In a second?
Second.
Thank you. Rochelle, please call roll.
Linda Perdot is absent. Stephen Cohen is absent. Annette Gray.
Yes.
Keith Beal.
Yes.
Jose Alvarez.
Yes.
Adam Nelson.
Yes.
Dana Adler.
Yes. At this point, we swear in anybody who will be speaking before the board on any matter regarding public comments or on any agenda item. Please rise and be prepared to be sworn in.
By the authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please
Thanks,
proceed.
Rochelle. At this point, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on any item that's not on the agenda, that's in purview of the Site Plan Review and Appearance Board? We would welcome your appearance now. Seeing and hearing none, I'd like to touch on a few things. If you'll be presenting the night, please do so from the podium on my left. Staff is using the table in front of the dais. There is no consent agenda, so we can skip that, but now I have to read the quasi-judicial rules. This hearing shall be conducted in accordance with the City of Delray Beach quasi-judicial rules. The applicant and the city shall be permitted to present their case. The public shall be allowed to speak for 3 minutes each or a maximum of 6 minutes if the person represents an organization or a group of people who are present but agree not to speak. The City Commission, board members, staff, and the applicant may be allowed to cross-examine a witness. The city or the applicant will be allowed to offer rebuttal testimony. The decision to approve or deny an application or appeal may not legally be made upon personal views as to whether a project is a good project or not, nor may a decision be based on the number of citizens who oppose or support a particular project. The law requires that all decisions must be made on the basis of whether the project meets the requirements of law, the comprehensive plan, and the land development regulations. Okay. So, all right, I think we're ready to enter into our agenda item, our only agenda item from the with applicants. So, if we can please.
Hi, good evening,
Ms.
Jennifer. Jennifer Buse, planner for the city. I'd like to put into record file number 2024-015. This is a establishment of a master sign program for parks at Delray.
Thank you. Is there any ex parte communication on this item? Okay, seeing and hearing none, I believe we have Mr. Montez. And if you could please state your name and address for the record, please, Mr. Montez.
Hi, I'm Mike Cavelli with Cavelli Design, 1209 South Swinton Avenue. We have kind of a request, if we could, of the board in terms of the order of presentations. Our sign consultant has been in traffic over 2 hours in Miami. And so if we could, maybe to give her a little more time but not delay, if Jennifer could do her presentation first. And if she isn't here by then I will do the presentation for the sign so we can move forward. But if we could have your indulgence on that, it would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, so I think we need to then make an amendment to the agenda. Is that
No, so the
necessary?
So the agenda itself doesn't contain the order in which
Okay.
presentations will be made. We'd really be looking at section 5C4 of the local rules, which set forth the presentation of a quasi-judicial case. It does list the applicant presents and city staff presents, but if the applicant has made the request and there's no objection from city staff, I do think the board, if there's consensus, has discretion to allow city staff to present first and provide additional time for their presenter to arrive.
Okay, so Ms. Buse, do you agree to this? And board, any objection?
No.
Do we need any kind of roll or approval?
No, I think the consensus of the board should be sufficient.
Excellent, all right.
Thank you
no
so
problem.
much.
All right, Ms. Buse.
Okay, so this is agenda item, oh, my mic's not on. Agenda item 9A, Parks at Del Rey. This is at 1690 to 2350 South Congress Avenue. And this is in consideration of establishing a master sign program. This involves 5 monument signs and 37 directional signs for the property. And this is phase. Zoning is special activities district. This is off of South Congress Avenue. The adjacent zonings are medium residential, MROC, open space, RM, and we've got medium residential on the northeast, the north, south, and west sides. And the existing use is going to be 747 dwelling units and retail. So a little bit of the history of Parks at Del Rey. In 2018, the City Commission approved ordinance number 3018 for the rezoning of the property from MROC to SAD. And in 2019, SPRAB approved a Class 2 for the perimeter landscape buffer. And then in 2020, SPRAB approved the Class 5 site plan. In 2021, the City Commission approved ordinance number 6120 for the timing of the infrastructure, modified setbacks, and clarity on how to process future modifications. So the Parks at Del Rey is a mixed-use development comprising various housing units, an anchor tenant and retail stores spread across approximately 48.86 acres. The development program. So today we are going to be looking at the green border for the monument signs, and then phase 1 is also depicted in the yellow. These are the fonts and the colors that they are looking at choosing, and the logos. The fonts and colors and logos will be consistent throughout all of the phases. They are using a soft color palette of soft black, copper, sage, white, stone, and warm white. So here's the proposal. These are the 5 monument signs in the blocked red. We have 2 off of South Congress, 1 as you go into the main entrance that is in front of the clubhouse, 2 off of Old Germantown Road. And then it's hard to see on here, but all of the red marks around here are the 37 internal directional signs. So these are the directional signs. They are proposed at 4 feet 5 inches with a 1 foot width, which makes it a 4.5 square foot sign. The material is non-illuminated copper face top, white stone metal, and cabinet and sage metal base. And monument sign number 1 is the main monument, and this is proposed at 11 feet 4 inches. The width is 6 feet 6 inches. It is double-sided, so it is logo in a soft black lit faces, and the tenant panels are warm white panels with push-through text. Monument sign 2 is internal to the site in front of the clubhouse, and this says Savio Sky, and it's proposed at 5 feet. The width is 10 feet. This is 50 square feet. This is a one-sided sign, and again, it's in the proposed color palette. And monuments 3, 4, and 5 say Sky and Savio. These are the names of, I guess, the internal neighborhoods inside. So you have Sky, sign off of Old Germantown entrance, South Congress Avenue entrance here, and then the Savio signs are located off of Old Germantown Road. These signs are identical in size, at 5 feet 8 inches, 6 feet 4 inches wide, and they are double-sided for approximately 71 square feet. So a master sign program is to be used when the development of a project is too large of such a scale that it also allows automatic granting of waivers through subsection D, which is our aesthetic qualifications, and subsection E, which includes our sign design standards, which limits the amount of signage you can have and the overall size of the signs. This is a chart here that's just showing the phasing of the established master sign program, or the one that they would like to establish. These show, the first column shows what is allowed in the code, what is proposed, and this just kind of gives you an idea of what somebody could come into with just permitting a sign and what the master sign program will allow you to do with the size and scale. All of the monument signs are underneath the allowed size of 14 feet and 160 square feet. And the 37 proposed directional signs are actually exempt in the sign code. But there are 37 that are being proposed here, and as long as they do stay under the 5 square feet and the 5 foot overall height, they are exempt. They do have to show direction, which these signs do. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Buse. Okay, so Mr. Cavelli, what do you propose? Do you want to take a stab at this?
I absolutely will.
Okay.
I do not
I'm
want to
sure
delay
you'll
the
do
board
great.
in any way.
All right, so if you could please, as I said, state your name and address for the record.
It's Mike Cavelli with Cavelli Design, 1209 South Swinton Avenue. Jennifer was very thorough, so a lot of this we can say what she said. The one thing I think that's important is that we did do an SAD on this early on in the process, that we decided to not go with the MROC zoning because there were so many variables in this thing, and it turns out it was actually a good idea to do that because we did the phasing plan, and with construction costs and financing, that phasing has really come in handy with doing this project. So the goal of doing this sign package in terms of the graphics and the colors and the looks was try to blend it in with the landscaping, the architecture of the project. I'm going the wrong direction. And so we felt like the street signs, the monument signs would give this a cohesive look to the project. Jennifer showed you where all the monument signs are. I think I can do this. This is a dual entry that goes back to the recreation area and a park. And then to the north and to the south are the commercial parcels. That's the biggest sign. That's the 11-foot tall monument sign. All the others are a much smaller scale, and we felt like that would be more in tune with the scale of the project. So, and again, we could have gone 14 feet, but we only went 11. And this is just more detail of where those signs are. Some of them are in the medians. Some of them are on the sides of the entry drives. And then the one in the upper left-hand corner is the one that's in front of the recreation clubhouse area. Again, this was the colors and the fonts that Jennifer showed. This is the sign that's at the main dual commercial residential entry, which is the biggest sign. This is just the detailing of what that sign is dimensionally. And then these are the community entry signs that are all the same size, just with different indications for the neighborhoods that they serve. And longer and lower that's in front of the recreation clubhouse area. Colors are consistent throughout on all the signs, and then the directional signs in multiple buildings. So in terms of trying to provide as much direction as you can for which building you're going to. And then the street signs are unique in terms of continuing the identity of the project. We felt like these are very tastefully done and would be a nice addition over the conventional signs, and that's it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cavelli.
Mhm.
All right, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item? Okay, seeing and hearing none. Any rebuttal, Mr. Cavelli?
None.
From the city, any rebuttal?
I just want to, a few points.
Okay.
With the phasing, they do have to, once they start coming in, it does have to come back before the board for any changes. So as they come in for phase 2, or they want to deviate even from phase 1, they have to come back to you guys for the board. I think it's important to note as well that all of the smaller signs, monument signs, are almost at eye level, as so when you're traveling in the car, they're right there at the level, so somebody's not like trying to look up or look down. And that's the same with the directional signs too. That's why we cap it off at 5 feet. And the street signs that were shown on the last slide are not part of the master sign
Right.
program. It's fine that they left it in there so that you could see that it's color coordinated with the rest of the signs. But we don't regulate the street signs, especially when they are private streets.
Private streets.
Yeah, I don't, oh, here it is. Okay, that's good to know. So we're, okay. All right, so I think we are at our board discussion. Mr. Alvarez, do you have any comments?
Just for clarification, on the staff report, it says that they're allowed 3, but they're proposing 5 signs. Is that an issue, or is it like a minimum required of 3 or a maximum of 3, and they're proposing more?
No, with the master sign program, when you have the master sign program, it allows the automatic granting of waivers, which allows that subsection E, which caps off the amount of signs that you're allowed to have, whether it's a wall sign, whether it's a projecting sign, whether it's a monument sign. So that's why a master sign program is established, so that they're not having to go forward to City Commission. These signs are appropriately placed. So, yeah.
Okay. And in terms of future tenants on the commercial, spots, are they gonna have to come before the board for approval of those, or no?
Yes, yeah. Once the master sign is established, then the tenants will have to come in as well, and that's where you're gonna see more of your wall signs, projecting signs, maybe even under canopy signs.
Okay. I mean, overall, I think it's very well done, tastefully done, and it's a nice color palette in my opinion. I don't have anything against it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Gray.
My question is, Monument 5, sign 5. What is that street coming off of Congress?
That's
Or is
old,
that's Congress?
That's Old Germantown, I believe.
Germantown,
Yeah.
okay.
No, the one you're looking at is just a.
Oh, I'm
just a
sorry.
Internal drive. It's not a street.
It
It's one
is,
of the internal streets.
yeah.
It's an internal street,
Correct.
and it's a monument sign.
Monument 5 is the one located, this one's right here, this is Monument 5, and it's actually on South Congress. Monuments 3 and 4 are off of Old Germantown, and then the Monument 2 is internal. Did I confuse you even more?
No, I am wondering if both 1 and 5 are necessary. I can't picture that corner. If it's off of a major thoroughfare. I see Congress clearly, the South Congress entrance. I see Monument 1. I see the necessity for that. Okay, Why don't you continue? I'll figure out what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right, Mr. Beal.
I do not have any questions. I had the same questions as Jose, so he got them answered for me. Again, I think tastefully done. And just to clarify that what Angela had asked on the sign 5, that's on the residential side, where monument sign 1 is commercial portion, correct?
There,
So they're separate?
yes, the main sign at the middle road that comes in off of Congress is the dual commercial residential. All the others are residential. On Germantown Road, there's 2 different basically neighborhoods. On the west, it's a townhouse project along the west side, and then you get into the more multifamily apartment type buildings on the eastern side. So those 2 monument signs differentiate those neighborhoods.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks
All right.
for the assist.
Yes, Mr. Nelson.
I have no comments.
Okay, excellent. Is there any other board discussion? All right, I don't have any comments. I think that this is very tastefully done. It's within the parameters. I'm sure you work closely with Ms. Beal, and I have no issues at all. So, would anybody like to make a motion? It's on the screen if you can't find it.
Make a motion for approval of the master sign program. 2024-15, Parks Del Rey located 1690 to 2390 South Congress Avenue. I find the request meets the criteria set forth in land development regulations.
And a second.
I'll second.
And if you can please call roll, Rochelle.
Okay, Linda Purdue is absent, Stephen Cohen is absent, Annette Wright,
Yes.
Keith Beal,
Yes.
Jose Alvarez,
Yes.
Adam Nelson,
Yes.
Dana Adler.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Cavalli. You've
Thank
been
you.
approved.
Thank you very much. We got through that, didn't we?
Yes, I hope Mr. Monty is surviving the
Unfortunately,
Miami
sign person to
traffic.
turn around.
Unfortunately, now she has to
Two
drive 2
hours.
hours back to Miami.
Well, maybe you can take him out for a drink. I
Thank
don't
you
know.
so much for your consideration in the agenda switch.
All right, no problem at all. All right, so moving along.
In the other day.
Oh. All right, you ready for us?
Yeah,
Anything?
so
Okay.
represent common city staff, like I would like to remind the board with the next upcoming meeting, April 24th. This is the 4th Wednesday of April, and May 22nd is also the 4th Wednesday of May.
So April 24th and May 22nd. Okay. All right, so remember, if you have any conflicts, tell Rochelle, tell the city staff. So we just have to make sure we have a quorum. Summer's coming up, so I know a lot of people are traveling. All right, and then you have here project updates.
None.
None? Okay. All right. So do we have anything from Mr. Bennett?
Not this evening, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything from board members?
No, ma'am.
Good here?
All right. So I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.